You can Google me.
All right. I'll cut everything from the beginning out. I just don't have to roll back and forth.
Oh no, all of my secrets.
Yeah. So yeah, Grimzy, you guys introduced each other.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, if you guys are ready to go, Grimzy, I know you got to jump out by like 1 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nolan, if things get like we're in the middle of a conversation or whatever, I'll let Grimzy say his goodbye, and then we can polish off whatever the end of the conversation is.
Cool.
So yeah. All right. Welcome everyone back to the Trunk Tales. I'm Andrew. My co-host here is always Grimzy, and joined here with us today is Nolan,
Hi.
aka the Sandalorian, also known as the guy who does what's that dance that fight dance move stuff with his gun holstered. Yeah. Man, that video was incredible, and I loved the comment section. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you guys for having me. This will be a good time.
Yeah. So, as I told you pre-show, I started following you, I think, roughly about 2 years ago from another guy in the community, Footwear. And actually, he used to have his old username, I think, was better. It was like Digital Goon, I think, is what it was.
It was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Great guy. Actually, he's part of our Christmas giveaway as well. He's giving away one of his hoodies. I think you can pick anything. By the time this episode comes out, that giveaway will be over, just so you guys know. So go back and check that out. We'll probably have another giveaway coming up. But really, we wanted to have you on here to talk about you and some of these insanely incredible videos and antics that you've had, right? Like the how do you pronounce it, Grimzy? The chancla, la chancla?
It'll pass.
The almost perfect weapon.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Yeah.
And for those in that community, they understand, your mom, your grandma, or whatever, chasing you around, hitting you with it, just like how I grew up. My parents hit me with a belt. It's kind of the same thing.
Damn right.
He's talking to the beans and rice eaters. All the beans and rice eaters. You know what that's about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know about the Boiler's chancla, dude.
Yep.
Is that an Akatsuki fucking cloud?
No, it's just a blue Nimbus cloud. Similar design.
I was gonna say, you one of them. I fuck with it.
It does have a nice little set going on. I like the skateboard. Is that one of Donuts?
Yeah, I got this at Cody's shop. We filmed a video with Nigel. Me and my buddies, we filmed a video with Nigel. We were gonna do we ran Cody's skate shop and then learning to skateboard, but I don't know if those are gonna necessarily go anywhere. We might just be holding them for a minute.
So for those who don't know, because I'm not even sure that I'm fully sure who it is, you're talking about Nigel
Jones.
He's the used to be, he was in the Army Reserves. Is that right?
I don't know if it was the Reserves. He was definitely in the Army. He was part of Braille Skateboarding for a while. Before that, took its Scientology nosedive, and then now he does gun content.
Yeah, okay. Whatever happened to them Braille dudes?
Dude, wild story. Not necessarily my story to tell, but to fully summarize it up, the main guy behind it was super into Scientology the whole time. Like, wasn't necessarily quiet about it, but kind of held it closer to the chest. And then they found out that all of the money that they were making was just getting funneled into Scientology. And then he basically closed up shop, kicked everybody out, and said, fuck off.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Because, like, Braille skateboard, it took the world by storm. Like, at least the media world by storm. You couldn't scroll on your timeline without seeing a Braille video.
Without you make it, we skate it, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they were doing glass boards. They were doing these big, just dumb, huge, you know what I'm saying? They had a whole lot of, I guess you could call them antics. I don't know how respected they were in the skate world, but they were fucking everywhere, bro.
They were everywhere. They took straight up YouTube by storm. What Nigel was telling me when we had him on the podcast, he was saying, they were the #1 channel on YouTube for a minute.
I believe
it.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I'm not even a skateboarder. I've never skated a day in my life. I've never even owned a skateboard. And I was subscribed for a while. There was a point a couple of years ago when I kind of purged my subscriptions and stuff, and they weren't really as interesting anymore. So it's probably around the time when that was going on.
Yeah, the spring cleaning of cleaning out your subscriptions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. I always wonder where they went. But like people fall off. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're like MrBeast, it's almost inevitable you fall off, right?
Well, I have my own theories about him, but
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. There's a lot behind that. There's a lot behind
They
that.
never lie.
I'm telling you
MrBeast
right now.
himself?
Listen.
What was that?
About MrBeast and his success.
Yeah, just about MrBeast's success. I wouldn't doubt if you started looking into him. There's probably some crazy nepotism. I don't know. I'm just a guy on the internet.
Hey,
MrBeast is a psyop, bro.
Oh, I can, especially now that he's like partnered with Amazon and I mean, his brand and notoriety, he can do no wrong, right? Like he can do whatever. And people will always find a way to push back against him, whether or not it matters or not. So just a quick aside, like people get mad when a nonprofit runs ads. Okay. But the problem with being a nonprofit is if you don't tell your story and the good that you do, people aren't going to donate.
Right.
So you have to do it.
Right.
So
that's kind of the brutal dichotomy of social media in general.
Yep.
You have to be I hate to say it, but you have to almost be a certain level of narcissistic to make it on social media. And not necessarily that you yourself have to embody narcissism, but you have to be okay with saying like, no, I am good at what I do. And like, here is what I do. And I'm going to tell you about what I do. Because if you don't, it won't get out there. If you just think to myself, who am I? Like, I'm just going to remain humble. Like, sure, always be humble, but you also have to put your shit out there.
one of the things that I learned, I mean, and it took a long time for this to really hit home to me, but it's something that I've been told for a long time by people that I respect. It doesn't matter if you are the actual subject matter expert in your field.
No.
It doesn't matter if you're the best, because the overwhelming majority of people that are going to consume your content know less than you do. You're going to have a very vocal minority who are going to want to critique everything. You know, there's probably somebody critiquing the specific way that you did your breakdance move. You know, like, it doesn't matter that you had a firearm and a holster on you or anything like that. To them, they're like, no, he left on his toes instead of his heels, or something stupid like that.
You'll find that, like you said, in literally everything. You could do everything textbook, by the book, the correct way to do anything, and someone out there will tell you did it wrong. Yep. And like, I learned a valuable piece of information from a very, very famous YouTuber. I don't necessarily want to put him on blast, but I was in Vegas with him one day and we were talking, and he just said, listen, dude, the comment section is retarded. Don't listen. And I was just like, okay. And it's hard because I love the comment section. The comment section and the viewers are why we're here. But the main point of that argument was just like, listen, people are going to get in there. They're going to say stupid stuff. Just ignore it.
Yeah, they're not. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's not wrong at all. And I struggle with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I struggle with it because I get in the comments and I'm right there with them. Right.
Yeah.
There was times where I would go back and forth with people for 3 days straight.
Yep.
So
just because, right? And that kind of shit right there, like you kind of gotta learn to just like leave it alone, because it's not gonna. It doesn't help you at all, because it only gives you it validates the things that whoever's saying that, it validates it. Now they got your attention.
Exactly.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle not to deal with that.
So, in the same vein, when my wife and I started our other channel a couple of years ago, it just hit me one day. I was like, he's wrong, she's right. And that's the name that I ran with. My wife will tell you that in an argument, I will never admit that she's right. She's never right, no matter what we talk about. But dude, those fucking comments every time. Oh, you're a feminist. You're a simp for your wife. No wonder you have bad opinions because he's wrong, she's right is your channel name. Dude, it is the best. What do they call it? The icebreaker? Like, it's every comment, man. Every comment. Somebody's like, of course you'd have a bad opinion. Look at your channel name. It's, dude,
Yes, I simp for my wife. I'm sorry that I'm happily married.
Yeah. I do enjoy the comment section. Sometimes I'm just in a mood where I don't want to deal with it or it's annoying. So I have like an auto response kind of thing like, hey, thanks for supporting us. Go check out our links.
Thanks for commenting. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. And then there's other times I actually have, which this is crazy. I have swayed one person genuinely
That's
started
amazing.
off. Yeah. They were super pissed off and it was at you, Grimzy. They were mad at you for something.
Nice.
And I was like, look, go back and just watch a couple of his short videos. Don't pick anything over a minute long. Just go watch like 3. And I swear, I didn't think this person was coming back. I thought they were just going to go on this whole tear where they were going to be pissed off all the time and just commenting on stuff. Came back like the next day and was like, man, I'm so sorry. He didn't say I'm sorry, but he was like, oh,
That's
shit, you were
a
right.
1 in a billion response right there, dude.
Yeah. But it was only because the way that he was mad, I just like it was like things weren't hitting right. Like he seemed to be aligned with us, but just didn't like the message.
I have that effect on people.
Yeah. People get upset when we do these giveaways and things like that. People won't follow some of the rules and things. And there's like legal shit that we have to deal with.
Sorry you can't read.
Yeah. There's legal things. And I'm like, dude, like I'm telling you that this doesn't count. I'm trying to help you. And then they're like, I'm never going to share your content again. I'm like, okay. Okay.
You just got to let them be. Have you guys ever heard the little, it's like I guess it would be a quote or like a little piece of like wise wisdom where it's like, the key to happiness is not arguing with stupid people. And then somebody goes, well, I don't think that's the case. And then he goes, okay, you're right.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
There's
just a lot of stupid people.
There are, dude. It's surprising. And it's not to be mean to them necessarily, but
No,
there's some dummies out there.
It's to be mean to them.
It is.
I think
100%,
me personally, I think you need to bring bullying back, bro.
100%.
We need to bring bullying back. There's way too many fucking, Lizzos in the world. Like, it's okay to be fat. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you can live your life the way that you want, but don't tell me that this is an acceptable lifestyle.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's not okay to be fat. It shortens your lifespan. It does a whole lot of bad shit to you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
We can't keep telling people that, shit like that is okay. It's not okay to be dumb. You know what I'm saying? If someone's a retard, you got to tell them they're a fucking retard.
Right.
To let them know.
Yeah.
We got to bring bullying back, man.
I wholeheartedly agree because it is the complacency. You should never be okay with standing still. You should always want to be bettering yourself, and you should always be trying to either increase your intelligence, increase a skill, be better in some way, so that way that your lineage or the world around you becomes better.
Absolutely. They say still water gets dirty.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's another saying in that same light, like, you never want to be the smartest person in the room because what does that do for you?
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, maybe you're bringing other people up, but you're not improving yourself. You're not improving, even if you're the dumbest person in the world, somebody can take something from you because they might see and understand, oh, what I know isn't resonating with this person or with this group of people. I need to change how I deliver that message. Or maybe I just shouldn't deal with them at all because they're just never going to get it. And that's a lot of the population right now.
Yeah. Everyone's a teacher, man. Everyone's a teacher. You can learn something from everyone.
Yep. So back to your story and kind of how you took off and grew. Where did the almost perfect weapon start from? How did that become you and your story? Yeah,
so the almost perfect weapon, that is a joke from a martial arts film back in the 80s, 90s. I think it's the 90s. And it's called The Perfect Weapon.
Okay.
And it's a Jeff Speakman film. He didn't have many films, but he had one. And the reason it's like so prominent to me is because he did the type of karate I did. when I was growing up. So he did Kempo karate, and he made a Kempo karate film. And so in the martial arts community, whenever somebody makes a film using your style of martial art, everybody's like, yeah, right? So like when John Wick came out and he did a bunch of jujitsu, people were like, yeah, jujitsu. So this was kind of like that. And so it was the perfect weapon. And my buddy looked at me one day. He's like, you know, you're like the almost perfect weapon. And then it just kind of stuck from there. But the way I kind of got into all this, I was doing martial arts at a young age, did gymnastics, did parkour, did breakdancing, just everything acrobatic. Always had a passion for film. Watching early YouTube videos like Freddie Wong and Corridor Digital and those guys kind of got that like passion to be like, I want to make videos. This looks awesome. So that kind of spurred like the inspiration for doing videos. And then, you know, going through life as is, I got an opportunity to work with a company to do social media for them. So I took the opportunity, and that allowed me to kind of break into this realm. And as I was doing social media and as I was kind of getting involved more in the gun space, like as a social media personality, I was finding my way and kind of going, well, who am I, right? Like, who is the character that is me? And, you know, growing up watching Garand Thumb and Matt Carricker and Hickok, and I'm like, okay, I like how Garand Thumb does it. I like his cinematic intros. I like how tactical he is. I like how approachable Matt is, XYZ, etc. And then I just kind of sat down one day and I was like, what do I have that I haven't really seen in the gun community? And I was like, acrobatics. I don't really see a lot of acrobatics involved. So I just, from there, I was like, okay, what is the most acrobatic thing that I can do safely? Like, how can I start involving this piece by piece? And then what was the first thing I did? I think the first kind of major thing I did, I made a joking diss video towards Lucas Botkin.
Yeah.
Because I was doing some antics on social media. He released a video saying like doing dumb, stupid, retarded Instagram stuff. And I was like, hell yeah, that's me. I'm doing dumb, stupid Instagram stuff. And so I just released a video. I did like an aerial off of a log and flipped him off. And it was just fun. And then the comments from there just whoop. You know, people either saying I was unsafe. The first pistol spin video, people lost their shit. And I was like, this is where it's at.
I showed my kids the one where you were spinning it and you threw the magazine into the mag well and the pistol, and they were all like, that's AI. That's
magic.
CGI. And I'm like, no, he really did that. It might have been a lot of takes, but he really did it.
Well, the funny story about that one, the way I go about figuring out those tricks is I'll just grab my gun and go, okay, what have I done? What haven't I done? What haven't I seen? And I'll just start playing around. And I go, and I thought to myself, I've never seen somebody throw the magazine into the gun, right? Like, that's video game stuff. Yep. And I was like, okay, I got to try it. I tried it once, failed. Tried it the second time, it went halfway in. Tried it the third time, went all the way in. I was like, oh, perfect. I got this. And then I put the camera on, and then it took me probably like fucking 2 hours of just practicing, just like, damn it. My wife is like, are you okay in there? I was like, I can't get this right now. And she goes, what are you trying to do? And I said, watch. And I like showed her, nailed it. I was like, okay. I was like, leave the room. I got to do this. And then it took another like 30 tries, but.
That's like the, you know, when something doesn't work, my wife's like, hey, the TV's not working. Then I walk into the room and it just turns on.
Yep. And she's like, it wasn't working, I swear. Okay, babe.
Yep. Are you allowed to say the name of the company? Because I think I know who it is, but are you allowed to say?
I mean, I can say the name of the company. It's part of my past. It is what it is. I'm not happy with how everything turned out there. Rather disappointed. But the name of the company was Tacticon Armament.
Okay.
You know, it's rather unfortunate what happened there in that situation. I don't want to get into it too much, just because it brings up a lot of hatred, a lot of bad feelings. But I am grateful for the opportunity to get into the social media space with that. So it is cool.
So out of curiosity, what's been your involvement with, oh my God, I have 2 pairs and now I can't even fucking, the flip-flops.
Oh, combat flip-flops.
Yeah. They're literally on the other side of this wall, and I'm like, I can see the design, I can see the eagle and everything like that. So, what all's been your involvement with them? Because I believe you have like a partnership of some kind, or
Yeah. So, and when I was getting into it, the whole flip-flop thing came about as another joke. I went out to the range and I just wear flip-flops regularly. Like that's just been a thing.
yeah.
And I went out to the range one day and forgot to bring a pair of shoes. And my buddy looked at me and goes, if you can't do it in flops, can you even do it at all? And so like that became the running joke. And that's
that's a W man's right there, bro. That's a W fucking man. Hey, you need a friend like that around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those kind of friends, bro, when you have those, you feel like you could take on a fucking country. You know what I'm saying?
You're damn right, brother. You're damn right. He would help me take a country.
That's a W fucking man's, bro.
Yeah. And so it just kind of spurred from there. And then once I released that like little video that I did, the comment section again, why are you wearing flip-flops? And I was like, hell yeah. All right, game on. And then that's where it spurred the, if you can't do it in flops, can you even do it at all?
It's fucked up, right? That it's the hate comments that'll make you grow.
It fuels me.
You know what I'm saying? And not even just grow within yourself, but grow period on any platform.
Your haters are your biggest growth tool. And
it sounds so gay, don't it? Yeah. Right? Like your haters are your you got to have haters, but it's fact though. It really is a fucking fact.
And you have to appreciate the haters. If you try and do everything right, like we've talked about at the beginning, like somebody's going to be mad about something, so just lean into who you are. You're going to get haters, and the haters are going to share you more than the people that like you.
Yep.
And I think that's the best part about it. You can, the videos that have no haters on it are the ones that don't do that well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So on the opposite edge of the same blade, right? It drives me crazy when I see people that I trust or respect sharing stuff to be like, don't be like this guy. And I'm like, dude, you just increase their exposure.
You helped.
Yeah.
You
just
helped
let
them.
it die.
Yeah. Honestly, and it's hard too, because like when it comes to the monetization game and when it comes to, especially like on Twitter, right? It's almost a self-fulfilling hate loop on Twitter, because to get views, to get impressions and keep the monetization numbers, you have to be somewhat inflammatory. And by sharing stuff that is inflammatory, because drama sells no matter what it is. Drugs, sex, rock and roll, right? And so you share something that's drama fueled, you're going to get 1 million impressions, versus you share something that's inspirational, you're going to get 1,000 impressions. So it's like, it's that hard balance, especially when people make their living off of like social media work.
Yep. It made me upset the other day. So we're not like ones to go around and cry like impressions are not. Like, I understand the algorithm changes, the audience changes
every time. Yeah.
There's going to be ebbs and flows. It's never going to be just straight line up. But I was like, I looked at it one day and I was like, what the fuck? Like, we are just, I think, so we had the week prior, the channel account had 4 or 5 consecutive days of over 100,000 impressions. Mm-hmm. And we weren't doing anything crazy on those days. People just were engaging, people were sharing, people were there, people were present. And then the next 2 or 3 days in a row, we had less than 10,000. And I was like,
what happened?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not trying to like ask for a pity party, but like, what the fuck is going on here? And then of course the pity post took off. I'm like,
damn it.
Yeah. That's not who we want to be. I'm just needed to say it one time.
Yeah. But to finish up with the combat flip-flops thing, once that kind of took off, I was wearing rainbows for a little bit. And then Griff, who is one of the higher ups in the company, he hit me up one day and he was just like, hey, what size shoe do you wear? And I was like, 11. And he's like, cool. I'm sending you flip flops. By the way, my
awesome.
name's Griff. And then from there, it's just been a beautiful relationship. Those guys over there are awesome. If you guys are looking for footwear or shoes or flip flops, go check them out. At least give them a look. They're awesome.
I endorse it too. So I actually used to work for their marketing company.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's why I have 2 pairs, because we were doing lifestyle photography and stuff for them. This was like 3 years ago. So I have the AK-47s and then the, I can't remember what the all black, like I just call them shower shoes, just the all black ones.
Are they like slides?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't endorse slides.
So I wear them like how.
Hold on. What's wrong with slides, bro?
Dude, you have way less control in slides, dude. Slides.
Yeah, but come on. We come from the chancla game, bro. The chancla game. You know how quick slides come off of the. Yeah, motherfucker.
Way less control.
Slides.
Dude. Way less control.
No,
the
hell no.
aerodynamics aren't there.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
telling you.
No, fuck all that. Aerodynamics is way better. Way better. I don't give a fuck. Okay.
Hey, you can keep
No,
them.
you
all
can't.
the slides
Listen,
to you, dog.
I'm gonna tell you right now. We will not have any slides slander on this show. Okay.
So yeah, so I love
They're
wearing
inferior.
them as like house shoes, but I'm definitely with you 100% for so the AK-47s. Like if I go to the beach, I cannot wear slides to the beach. It's trying to keep it on your foot and like walk in the sand. It's stupid. It doesn't make any.
You don't have
fucking
strong
sense.
toes. That's all it is, Drew. You gotta have strong toes to wear slides, bro.
Grabbing onto the little thong, whatever you want to call it. That's the only thing I can call it. Grabbing onto it with your toes and just walking right through the
See,
sand.
you just made you made it for me, bro. You got a thong in between your toes. Come on.
mean,
Sorry that my feet look sexy.
No. We're not doing that. It's gonna turn into a foot fetish episode. This is fucking getting crazy.
You're talking about my comment section now, dude.
Hey, listen, man. Respect.
So
Respect.
Have you ever done anything where you wear socks and sandals to really piss people off?
No, not yet, but I should.
Yeah,
I should.
I don't know how. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not in your creative process, but I can already hear. Like I can hear the weirdest, goofiest voice reading your comment section to us about how you wore Buffalo Ron socks and sandals. There you go. That's the
what
partnership.
I need to do. Shout out to Buffalo Ron, best socks on the planet, dude.
Hey, Ron, if you're watching this, by the way, I still don't have my socks.
They're right here.
Somebody's got my fucking socks. All right.
My bad.
Grimzy needs his socks, dude.
And it's been months at this fucking point of me not having my goddamn socks, bro. And Ron, just give him a little nudge, bro, because I've asked him twice for my socks. I'm not asking again for my fucking socks, Ron.
I do need to get all this stuff shipped out. Well, aside from the 16-pound box from Brownells that's over here, which that's insane. But that's completely different topic. We've gotten sidetracked here.
Hold on, wait. How do you feel about Crocs?
Gross, disgusting. You disgust me, sir.
How did the conversation go with the fat electrician then?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna let Grimzy finish laughing in case he's got something to say.
I'm not laughing. I'm upset.
Oh. How did the conversation go with the fat electrician? Because he just put out that video a month or two ago about how it's like the greatest invention known to mankind.
Listen, we prefer not to talk about it with each other because it's just gonna end bad. All right. Sorry, you got bad taste, brother.
I like to fucking tell you, boy. I like to fucking tell you,
dude. Nasty.
Oh my
Put
god,
nasty
man.
things on your feet. Dude.
You lucky
Gross.
you can do acrobatics, motherfucker.
What's your aversion to them? Is it just the style? Is it the lack of control again?
Dude, they're gross. They make your feet sweaty. They're nasty.
First of all, who wears Crocs without fucking socks?
Double gross.
No, see,
you
you
put
just
that thing on
see.
your
No,
foot,
now
dude?
now you just a hater, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now you just a hater. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Hey, look.
I feel like I've touched it.
Hey, feel free to hate on me. Okay, listen. Crocs, I wear them everywhere, bro. I wear them to the gym. I wear them at home.
That's
I wear them
shameless
outside.
behavior right there. That's,
Yeah, listen, I'm a shameless person. I'll take
like
it. I'm a shameless person.
That's an affront to aesthetics, my friend.
Hell yeah. Hey, Crocs, sponsor me, man.
It's like the person that'll go to a sit-down restaurant and eat an entire meal by themselves. Just they don't care at all.
I don't give a
No,
fuck.
dude, it's worse than that. That's
I'll
like
go-
making a
I'm
mess on the
doing it.
table and just like not even tipping.
That's
That's what.
No, don't put me in that category. don't put us in that category.
That's like being an asshole
That's a
to the
fucked up
server,
category.
dude.
No, bullshit. Okay, you got a thong in between your toes, and you gonna call me? No, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. You got thongs between your toes. Come on, man. Your feet are stripping.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to hear that shit.
Dude.
No, your feet. No. You got stripper feet, bro. That's the fuck though. You got stripper feet.
So the only time that, like I said, the only time that I really like the slides is when, like, I'm walking outside to the grill, and I don't want to go put shoes on or whatever, because I can just leave them by the door. Taking out the trash, slide them on real quick. Carry the trash out to the trash can. I don't wear them out and about anywhere. What I used to do, like when I was a kid, if I was going to like football practice or whatever, right? I'd already have my football socks on and stuff. I'm not walking around with cleats. So I just slide them on, slide them off, put my cleats on, whatever. But outside of that, like it's not really a leaving the house kind of piece of footwear, in my opinion. The thongs, on the other hand, they're nice and stylish. They're leather. You know, they look good. They feel good.
Yeah, you bring the flops inside. The slides stay outside like a dirty animal.
you don't bring the thongs in the house anywhere near you. That's the thing about it. You got your guys' obsession with thongs on your feet is crazy.
You know, I hear this argument a lot, and it just sounds like a slippery slope for you, brother. People will always just be like, "Ugh, feet, gross. I don't want to see it." It's like, well, it sounds like if you see feet,
well,
you're gonna find out something about yourself.
Listen, it's not about the feet. It's about the thong between the feet. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with feet. It's just you dirty thong lovers. That's the problem.
You might
with
like it. Yeah.
No,
it's okay.
I've tried them.
Okay,
don't get me wrong. Hey, don't get me wrong.
Too much pleasure.
I've tried them. They're just not my thing, man. It's mad uncomfortable, bro.
Different strokes, brother.
Yep.
Different strokes, different folks. I respect it.
Oh my god. So, going back to, you know, like your creative process and everything like that, what's your preferred, format? Do you prefer doing like the shorts, or I know for a while you were doing some like garage martial arts videos. Are you?
Yes.
Which one do you prefer?
Oh God, that's hard. It depends on my mood swings, you know? My ultimate preferred is long form cinema.
Okay.
I like making cinematic pieces. I like long held camera shots. I like suspense. I like building the scene, but unfortunately we have goldfish brains nowadays, and camera change, funny joke, camera change, watch Subway Surfers, camera change. You know what I mean? And it's a bummer, but I've learned to love the shorts format and kind of taking it on as a new challenge of like, okay, I prefer this, but how can I master the short form format? And so I've learned the appreciation for it. It's kind of hit or miss now. It's just whatever I'm feeling. Unfortunately, the long form cinematic stuff doesn't do as well. I do enjoy kind of doing ranty martial arts videos, but as we were talking about earlier, I get super imposter syndrome when I'm doing that, because I feel like I'm just venting my opinions out to the void, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you go live your life. I don't care. But then at the same time, I'm like, if I don't say something, I feel like my side of the aisle is just going to be drowned out. Because if you'll notice, there is a large minority that is very, very loud about their opinions. And most people who intellectually kind of agree with most of the things that we agree with, they're quiet. They just go, you know what, you go live your life. I'm not going to say shit. But then you get drowned out, and that's how you end up with, plus size mannequins.
Yes, that's, yep.
You know?
Real.
Yeah, and so
that's real.
Really quickly, right? I want to address, we talked about the bullying thing earlier. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between like the shithead bully who's just like banging your kid's head into the locker because he doesn't like him. And there's a difference between that and bullying people for being overweight or not reading a book or not doing things to improve themselves and their lives and stuff like that. So I want to make sure that people know that we do know that there is a difference there.
Yeah, that is the, I don't have a good word for it, but I'll just say the hard part, or the interesting thing is, are you guys aware of the sign of intelligence where if you bring up a generalization and say most Asian men or on general Asian dudes are, shorter, and people will be like, well, actually, I know some Asian people who are taller, kind of the sign of intelligence of being able to grasp generalities. Obviously, like when you say bring back bullying, you're not saying to like horrendously harass school kids or be mean to the point of trying to make somebody hurt themselves. It using the ability, your cognitive ability that God gave you to be like, oh, you're saying about like being okay with being mean to people and saying like, no, like you should be better. Like, stop eating McDonald's, fat ass. Like, come on. Like that's seen as bullying, but that's, you can be nice about it. You can be not nice about it, but people take things way too seriously. And it's generally the oversensitive individuals who think they need to be, white knights or warriors for those who can't, Oh, you said retard? You're making fun of mentally handicapped people? No, I'm making fun of somebody who has perfect capabilities. They're just retarded. The clinical definition, retarded.
Yep.
Or it's like calling something gay, right?
Yeah.
Like when you call something gay, it's not because it's actually gay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
it's the same kind of shit that goes with it, man.
Yeah, it's queer.
I know.
Yeah, 100%.
I know I'm going to get in trouble for this, but my wife's never going to watch this. There have been times when I've straight up said to my wife, "You are being a bitch right now," and she looks at me and she's like, "You just called me a bitch," and I'm like, "No, I didn't. I said that you are. I know that you're not a bitch, but you're acting like a bitch. Mm-hmm. Stop."
Yep. But hey, you're being rather bitchy right now. I am not a bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's no way around it. Like as soon as those things like come to mind, like when I'm like, I want to say something like that, I know that she's just gonna latch onto the word. It doesn't matter what the message is. It's just I'm wrong, and so I just most of the time I let it slide now. And
she's
she
right,
knows,
you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Stupid simp.
So going back to the format and stuff like that. So have you ever seen, and I'm sure you have, but do you have an example of anything that like you've done and you're like, it didn't do well for maybe the first, I don't know, couple days or weeks, and then all of a sudden it just took off, like just gained its own audience and its own voice and just kind of took a second wind and blew up?
So many videos that I have made. I've released them. They've done absolute dud numbers. And then a month later, somehow it gets picked up in the algorithm and it just gets shared to Kingdom Come. So many videos that I've done like that. I've done long form videos like that. I've done short form videos like that. Unfortunately, most of them were with that company. So it's like, I don't necessarily want to promote those. But we had something like that happen with my podcast, Man vs. Morning. We made a short where one of my co-hosts was like, he was just going on like a jovial rant about women parking, and driving. And then we released it, sat for a couple months, and then all of a sudden a horde of Redditors found it, and it jumped up just tremendous numbers. It got shared on Reddit, and I think it's past like over 500,000 views on Reddit or something like that. The comment section is like 10,000 comments. It's outrageous.
And it's never a positive community that ever digs back into your past like that. It's always somebody who wants to pick a fight.
Reddit's a shithole in general.
Yeah.
That is the cesspool of the internet for sure.
I have found some useful stuff there. Like there's a way, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, but you can use like Google search. Mm-hmm. And you can use parameters to say specifically on this website, Reddit, in this example, find this or find this how to
do this Reddit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the only saving grace of Reddit at this point in time.
Actually, coincidentally, so I was highlighting text on my phone, and I have a Pixel 10. And normally when you highlight something, it'll ask you like copy, whatever, search, use Google search. A couple of weeks ago, it popped up. It said, ask Reddit answers or something. I'm like, why would Google do that? Why would I want to ask Reddit what this
Why,
text
Google?
that I have?
Why?
Yeah. And I don't even remember what the text was, but it was ironically, I was like, I want to see how stupid this can be. And it just happened. I was just trying to copy the text to paste it somewhere else, right? So I ran through it, and sure enough, it took me to the worst parts of Reddit.
Yeah.
And I immediately went and showed my wife, and I was like, here's how I got from here to here to here. And my wife, as always, believes that the order of operations that I say it took isn't what really happened, that I was actually seeking this thing out,
course.
and that I
You fucking pervert. Duh.
yeah.
Somehow
But-
you end up on sounding and you're like, no, I swear. She's
Exactly.
like, is that something you want to do? No, God.
Yep. So we have a 15-year-old, and I'll be like, he's gonna do this and he's gonna do that, and she's like, how do you know? I'm like, I was a 15-year-old one time with access to a computer. I know what he's gonna do.
I know what he's going to do. I've seen this before.
Yep.
Of course
she's
I
like-
know it. He's me.
She's like, you're such a terrible person. He would never do that. And I'm like, you literally just yesterday you said he's the exact same as me, and now you're saying I'm a terrible person and he's nothing like me. Which one is it?
The wife's punching bag forever and always.
Yep. Exactly.
Absolutely.
So you were talking about your podcast.
Yeah.
What kind of show? Who all are your co-hosts on that?
So it's me, Jake Watson, who was originally from Corridor Digital. And
I know.
then my buddy, Jacob Tackett. So we run a podcast called Man vs. Morning. It's a morning show filmed in the evening, watched at night. It initially started out as kind of like this, like the main premise behind it is we want to remind dudes it's okay to be dudes. Like it's okay to just sit down with your boys, bullshit, and say stupid stuff. And it's kind of, everything morphs and evolves as it goes. That's still the underlying premise. We want to remind mainly men that it's okay to be you. And that extends to women as well. It's okay to be a woman. It's okay to be a man. You don't need to be something else. Like you can get together with your boys and you can say outlandish, stupid things. You can make fun of each other. You can make fun of everything in the world. And it's just here to be fun. So it's kind of mostly morphed into a comedy podcast where we just try and make you laugh. We try and make people laugh, and maybe you'll learn something along the way.
Make toxic masculinity great again.
Yeah, essentially. Like, I can make fun of women driving. I don't need to skirt around that. Yeah.
I think we should make fun of women driving.
I think we should as well.
I
we
actually
should make fun of
have
everyone.
the youngest kid, because there's been so many times when I'm like, I know exactly who that person is driving that car right now.
Yep.
And now
you pull up, you see him, and you go, yep.
Yep. He's gotten to the point now too where he's like, it's gotta be this kind of. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it right now because again, if my wife hears this, she's gonna get pissed off at me.
I'll say it for you. It's a woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Jake, I thought he was still doing stuff with them. So he's the attorney, right?
Yes, yeah, Jake the lawyer. He's still involved with them. It's not like he's completely uninvolved with them. He still does stuff here and there with them. I think he's going to LA to film with them here pretty soon-ish, like in January or something like that.
And he's also involved with Black Rifle, right?
He was involved with Black Rifle. I don't think he's involved with them anymore. I know he did videos with them with Corridor, but I mean, he's associated with people who, work at Black Rifle and stuff like that. But I don't think you could necessarily say he works with them.
Because I remember when they released that commercial for Black Friday, I don't know, it was 4 or 5 years ago when JT's flying the jet. So I know JT. He's been to my old house before. When he was more involved with Drinking Bros early on, because I was here in the town where I live before they moved out to Austin. So I know and I'm very familiar with those guys, but I don't know everyone. I've been around Evan a couple times. I'm assuming you must live in Texas. I didn't even ask.
I do. Yeah. I live in San Antonio.
Okay. That's so I've only been to San Antonio one time. I was there for AIT in 2007. I was miserable the entire time because it was fucking hot. I was there through the summer.
Oh, it's not that
Oh my god, man! But when you're in fucking full uniform and shit, like
Oh, yeah,
just
that's true.
dude, it was hot. The whole fucking it was so hot that they actually made us go to school like 2 a.m.
Ooh,
We would
gross.
sleep during the day and then go to school in the middle of the fucking night to ensure that we didn't get fucking heat
So you
stroke and
don't
shit.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will give it to you. It can get pretty hot. This summer wasn't too bad. I think it only got up to like 100.
Only.
Yeah. Well, I
So
mean,
Grimzy is a newly bred Florida man that just moved there from
ooh,
Illinois.
nice.
And I moved from Indiana to North Carolina 10 years ago, so I'm a little bit more acclimated with it, but I still don't like it.
You're gonna become the new Florida man.
I'm not looking forward to the fucking summer. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be my first summer because I just moved down here. So I'm not a person that enjoys hot weather. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be good.
AC is a beautiful invention. If you can management, try and acclimate. Like as it starts heating up, just spend the days outside.
Yep.
Yep. Gonna have to try that one because it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of complaining.
I grew up in Northern California, and so where I grew up, it would get up to like 113, 114 of dry heat. So I'm used to the heat. So when I came down here and they're like, oh, like my buddy Tackett, he was like, oh, it's so fucking hot here. I'm like, this is nothing, dude. I was like, we've got humidity. Like I'm not scorching. Like this is great.
So when I lived in Indiana growing up, you know, we would have days where it'd be like, well over 100 as well, right? But then it would rain and the next day it'd be like 55. Was it like that in California as well?
No. It was just the winters would be like pretty consistent, like wet. And then once it got into spring, you got a short, like just gorgeous spring. But once summer hit, it was summer until like October.
It's about what it's like here, and I'm assuming that's going to be what it's like for Grimzy in Tampa. As it here, I live right next to the ocean, right? Like I could walk there from here.
That's awesome.
As soon as you get that first storm in the spring that brings the humidity, it never goes away, and it's just humid. You like all of your windows, like every morning when you wake up, there's just dew dripping down all of them. It doesn't matter what you set your air conditioning to.
Gross.
Yeah, it's sticky. Everything that you do is just sweaty, and yeah. My wife's always like, "You complain about it so much. Why do you live here?" And I'm like, "Well, we're married, and I don't think you. Do you want to up and move somewhere else?" She's like, "No."
Just next time she says that, be like, "Great, I'll go find a place somewhere else, babe," and just see what she does.
Yeah, I just watched that show, Untamed. I don't know if you've seen that. It's got Sam Neill and fuck, I can't think of the guy's name. Anyways, it doesn't matter. They're in Yosemite. There's like this whole like missing person case and all that other. They're park rangers, and every time you would see like the beautiful scenes, I'm like, God damn, I wish I fucking lived there, dude.
Yosemite is one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Grimzy, where would you live if you had the perfect opportunity?
I don't know, man. I haven't really seen too much. You know what I'm saying? Like prior to moving here, I think I left the state of Illinois like once. So I think I would need to do some traveling.
Do you like San Antonio and Texas as a whole, or is there somewhere else that you would prefer?
That's hard. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the people here. I'm outside of San Antonio, thankfully. I can't do big cities. And San Antonio has 1.5 million people. Can't handle it. Anytime my wife is like, hey, we need to go into town or into the city, I'm like, no. But it's nice, you know. The city of San Antonio is decent. I try not to go there too much just because of my own personal preferences of locale. But it's hard because growing up in Northern California, my backyard was beautiful mountains and trees, and Texas is very flat, even though this is the Texas hill country.
Yeah.
But, you know, I appreciate it for what it is.
I think I would if San Diego wasn't in California and wasn't a city.
If California wasn't California.
There you go. Because I mean, like, with San Diego's like 75 on average almost every day all year.
It's so beautiful in San Diego. So the Pacific Northwest as well, up in the Oregon zone. Like, oh God, so beautiful.
Yeah, I've actually only ever been out to California one time, and I was a kid, so I don't really remember it that well. This was before you had to have like an ID to fly on planes and shit. I actually I went to Long Beach on my dad's ticket because we have the same middle name. My dad goes by his middle name. So my mom was able to take me on this trip to my dad's business partner at the time. His brother was like some big wig for like Hyatt. And they were doing, it's at the racetrack, the Grand Prix or whatever. So we got to go down to the pits and then watch the race from like the top of the hotel. And I met Walter Payton. It was the year before he died. Got a little Polaroid picture taken and signed with him.
Sick.
Yeah, but that's the only time I've ever been to California. I mean, I know people that live there, and they're like, man, I love it here. And I'm like, how? Everything you guys talk about, like paying $7 a gallon for gas. How can you enjoy doing anything?
Listen, California is gorgeous. It is unbelievably nice. The weather is awesome for the most part. The problem is California itself, the politicians and the political leaning of the state. And that's pretty much the main problem with it. Like if they could get their heads out of their asses and like, how is it that I pay $2.35 a gallon here, but in California it's $7 a gallon? Outrageous.
Yeah, and it's not like they're landlocked where they have to import shit. They literally are the port.
Yes. Yeah. They literally bring stuff in through the San Francisco port.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense to me. So there's a port here where I live as well. And when that pipeline issue happened a couple of years ago up the East Coast, people were panic buying. I'm like, guys, it's literally processed right here. What you don't need to go buy all the gas. We have gas here. It's fine. Chill out.
Yeah. Yeah. People have opinions.
Yeah.
People have opinions.
It's insane. So going back to talking about your show, are you guys just like just the three of you, or are you more like guest focused? Is there
yes and no?
What all?
So we have recently started adopting just the hosts and then a guest episode. So kind of off and on there. It started out primarily guest formatted because that's the best way to grow an unknown podcast.
Right.
So yes and no. We enjoy having people on. It's fun to talk to people. It's fun to get, new experiences and learn from them.
Who's been your favorite guest so far?
Ooh, that's rough.
Putting you on the spot, aren't I?
Put me on the spot. I'm gonna give it to Rich. Angry Cops. Yeah. I love them all, but Rich he's a kindred soul, and I love him so much. He's so much fun to have on a podcast. He knows how to keep talking. He's just jovial and fun. And every time he opens his mouth, you're either laughing or like you're shocked. You're like, no way you just said that. And then like you'll think about it again. You're like, I don't think we can put that on the internet.
Yeah. Grimzy, do you know who we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I would actually say Grimzy overall, maybe not necessarily on the podcast, but overall Grimzy is he's rich from a different life and different
He's
upbringing.
the Mexican Rich.
Yeah.
Are you Mexican? I don't want to get that wrong.
No, but
like,
just
if
say
you're like
it.
Puerto Rican, you might shoot me.
Let's just roll with it. Hey, the Juans get mad at me anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All the Juans and Juanitas are already mad at me. Like, how you gonna be like that when you're Mexican? I'm like, all right, buddy. I just tell people I'm Mexican. I'm not Mexican at all, actually.
What are you?
So I'm a mutt, bro.
Hell yeah.
I'm a mutt.
Aren't
I'm a
we
whole
all?
bunch of different fucking things. You know what I'm saying? Half white, half Hispanic. So it works out for me. I just jump, feet first into the whole Mexican pot.
Just embrace the Mexican, yeah.
I just have to, because it stirs the pot. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about all the things I talk about, supporting ICE, doing all that shit, people get real upset, bro. They're mad as fuck at me.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought enforcing immigration law would make people mad? Crazy.
Yeah. My in-laws just fled the country. When I say fled, like I'm dead serious. They fled the fucking country. That's how anti-Trump and America.
Oh, they left America.
Yeah.
Hey, good on them for keeping to their promises.
Yeah.
Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. I wish everybody would. I wish everybody who talks like that and who really, really hates what's going on, I wish they would just leave for real.
Yeah. The mindset, sorry to cut you off there, but the mindset of living in America, saying that you hate America or saying that you hate American values, refusing to leave, refusing to assimilate or live by American values, and to say that being a nationalist in any sort of the sense is like a bad thing. Like, you should be a nationalist. You should be proud of the nation that you live in. And if you're not proud of the nation that you live in, or at least have hopes for the nation that you live in, get.
Yep.
Like, what are you doing?
You got to get the fuck out, man. You got to get the fuck out. It just doesn't make any sense to me about, how much you hate America and how much America's a piece of shit country. Go to the country that you want to be at. You know what I'm saying?
Where they just left a country and now they're
right.
like, I hate America.
It's an oxymoron when you really think about it, right? The people
America
are coming.
so
the
great.
people are coming to this shit country that you think is such a shit country. Everybody wants to fucking come here.
Right. America's so great. It's the place that you hate, but you'll never leave.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. So the last day that her mom, so her dad has dementia. So he's from the Faroe Islands. Grew up fishing and woodworking and stuff like that, and then came here and never was naturalized or anything like that. He just did like odd jobs and carpentry and stuff. So he's just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Like, he just goes where he's told, does what he's told to do. But my mother-in-law, the last day she was here, because I've gone 5.5 years with my wife, and I've kept my mouth shut for the most part, right? Like, I'm not going to argue with you about politics because you're too far gone. It's not even worth my time. So half the time, like, there'd be like a family brunch or something like that, I just wouldn't even go. I just wouldn't be a part of it at all. But the last days she was here, she was coming to here to drop stuff off to have picked up because they were selling their house in town. And she was wearing a hoodie that said reparations. Like, she's the whitest white woman of all time.
Well, no, she's white knighting. That's the thing.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I just looked at her and I didn't even say anything. I said something to my wife the next day. I was like, what's wrong with your mom?
What's wrong with her?
Yeah. So actually, this is a fucking hilarious story. You guys will actually laugh your ass off. My wife was having a conversation with her mom when her mom started packing things over the summer. She had like some family heirloom type, I wouldn't even really call it like heirloom type things, but they're just like things that have kind of been passed down. They're linked to their family's heritage and origin and family name and stuff. And she asked my wife if she thought the oldest would want those things passed down to him. And my wife said, no, it's not really his flavor of autism. And her mom fucking lost her mind. She's like, you've never had him formally diagnosed. You can't say that about him. My wife's like, it's a figure of speech. I wasn't calling my fucking son autistic. I was just saying he's not interested in that.
It's also a spectrum. Everybody's a little autistic.
And
you got to embrace the tism.
Yep.
You got to embrace the tism. Everybody's got a little bit of it.
Everybody's got a touch of tism.
Just a touch of tism. You know what I'm saying?
And he is. He absolutely is. My wife says that he's like basically a little me. He's very strict and adherent to rules. Can't deviate from things. He's very structured, very detailed. Yeah. And he's hyper smart. I mean, he's finishing. So he's a sophomore in high school, but he's in early college. And at the end of this year, he will be done with high school. He will be going to college as a junior in high school.
That's
awesome.
I mean, like, yeah.
And
I mean, I had that growing up. Like, I can't break the rules.
Yep.
What do you mean? No, I can't break the rules.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to grow out of that. I mean, some people obviously don't, but I think so he's starting to like have the glimmers because now he drives. So now when he's
this
like,
is where it starts.
yep.
This is where the freedom begins.
Yep. I can speed a little bit, especially if I'm riding with him, right? Like I'll let him. I'm like, dude, stay with traffic.
Yeah.
Like, don't be that car. Don't be the one that's like hanging back because you want to go exactly on the dot. Like, stay with traffic. Let's go. Let's get home. Let's get where we're going or whatever. And now that he's more comfortable with it, lane changing and stuff. And I caught him doing like 15 over the other day. I looked over the dash and I didn't say anything. And then when we got back to the house, he's like, I know I was going a little bit fast, but don't tell mom. And I was like, no, it's fine. Just
Have you had him watch like bad car crashes compilations?
no,
You should.
really.
Yeah, I think it's important personally. I did it before I got my motorcycle.
Okay.
I sat down and I watched like motorcycle crash compilations. I think it's important to know like the risks. You know what I mean? Because like even just regular adults, they get so used to driving. Like I can't tell you the amount of cars that I pull up next to, look over, and someone's just on their phone. And I'm like, you understand you're in like a 2-ton piece of metal that can easily kill me and you.
And I mean, I see those things. Even I don't have a motorcycle, but I see those things. Driving around. I have a Suburban, right? I got run off the road by some little old lady that couldn't see over her fucking steering wheel as she's looking at her phone. I'm driving up. It's not like this fucking massive vehicle snuck up on you. I was there the whole time. And so I'm like honking at the horn. She's flipping me off and shit. I'm like, you literally merged into my lane with no turn signal. You can't see over your fucking dash. You're playing on your phone. I'm not in the wrong here, motherfucker.
Shut up, you white male piece of shit. Fuck you.
Exactly.
Stupid. Dude, it's all your fault. It's patriarchy.
Yep. So yeah, I will have him do that. On the same kind of vein, growing up, I will say like I kind of had money growing up. Like my dad owned a pretty big company growing up, so I had things like dirt bikes and stuff. My dad specifically would not let my brothers and I have like 4-wheelers, anything that he perceived as being safer because that would make us complacent. No shit. First time I rode a 4-wheeler, broke my wrist.
Yep. You're like, I'm on 4 wheels.
Yep. Got crazy with it, got a little squirrely. Actually hit my brother head on. We were in a blind turn. Didn't see each other. Obviously, both went wide, carrying speed. Hit head on. He was in the hospital for like 3 days. I went in the second day. I had an ice pack. Probably can't really see it, but I had an ice pack underneath my arm. And because of that, it bowed my arm upwards.
Oh, shit. Because it was so broke. That's gnarly.
My parents were so concerned with getting my younger brother to the hospital that they were like, you can just go hang out at grandma's. Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Yep.
That's a great point to bring up with complacency, and I think that's just like in general what makes the world so dangerous nowadays is because people get so complacent with dangerous things.
Yep.
Whether it's guns, whether it's cars, heavy equipment, like you should never take that stuff for granted. You should always treat it like with the utmost of care. Like you're trying not to cut off your finger when you're chopping some onions.
So on that note, when you did that breakdance video and then drew from your holster in what I'm presuming is your living room, what all like went into your thought process when you did that? Because I know that you knew you were gonna get all the fucking comments in the world on that.
Of course.
But like, what was your process of being like, I need to make sure that I actually am safe, but I know that this will work because my equipment is safe?
Well, so think about it like this, and I this is a perfect thing to bring up because I've got some shit to say about the firearms community. A gun is a mechanical device, right? Mechanical devices, even though they can malfunction, when you check them, so like the easiest example is if you take out the magazine and you check the chamber. Now, when you have control of that device, unless you load it, it's never going to be loaded, right? There's no magical way that a bullet's going to find its way in there. When you set it down, you turn your back and leave it. That's when you need to recheck it and make sure, because somebody could have tampered with it. And that's where kind of the firearms safety ninnies kind of go insane. Oh, treat every gun like it's loaded. Yes, I get that. They're guidelines. You should be safe. You should treat them with respect, right? But same thing as like, I've got a little axe here. This has no way to cut me unless I fuck up, right? And it's the same thing with a gun. When you unload it, it can now no longer hurt you unless you make the mistake of putting a bullet in there and pulling the trigger.
Right.
Or being unsafe with it. So I unloaded the gun, and my wife doesn't mess with my firearms. And even if she did, like, if I set the gun down, I would just double check it to be safe. And that is the safety that people should have, is just always check and know the state and condition of the weapon that you're holding, right? Other people's weapons, it's not your problem. Unless they're trying to point it at you, then it's your problem. But the weapon in your hand is your problem. So just check it. Okay, I'm not putting it down. Put it in the holster. Now I'm good to go and do whatever I want. I could huck the firearm across the room. Nothing's going to happen. You know what I mean? I can taste it for mouthfeel.
That's what they want you to think.
Happen. Yeah, that's what Big Gun wants you to think.
Yeah.
But that kind of, segues into the firearms community, because like you see so many safety sallies, and like a streamer just bought a firearm and they just got eaten up in a comment section because they showed their gun after clearing it because their hand went in front of the barrel for a second. And it's like, you guys need to calm down. First off, it's their gun, and if they want to blow a hole through their hand, they can. Secondly, I have maybe an unpopular opinion, but firearms are the easiest way for the self-righteous to kind of enter what I would almost consider like a warrior class. You know what I mean? You can just go out, do the proper methods, go get a gun, and now you're a warrior. Like you're a sheepdog amongst sheep. You know what I mean? And that gives people this false sense of confidence, like they're a samurai and that they know exactly how to do everything right. And it's a weird self-righteousness.
Yeah. Yeah. The gun community also, the cool way, the cool grip, right? Or the cool piece of kit or whatever changes so fucking frequently. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, there was this new study, or now the Green Berets do it this way, or someone was adapting something in a war zone and now we do this. And a lot of times it's like you're circling right back to the thing that you used to say was stupid.
Yep.
And so I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do what's familiar. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do what I know works and is safe. And I'm not making gun content, so nobody's ever going to see me doing, what I do. It's not like I'm doing anything dumb or crazy, but like I learned a specific way to handle firearms when I was in the Army. Not saying that I learned the perfect way or the right way, but like I know the basics. Mm-hmm. I'm comfortable and confident with what I have. Does anything else really matter at the end of the day?
No.
Like you got like people that practice, drawing from their holster all the time, stuff like that. Like obviously that in those situations, that is important. Mm-hmm. Being ready, being able to, protect yourself and things like that. But it also, in some scenarios, it won't really matter. Like if somebody's already got a gun pointed at your head, who's gonna?
But before I get out of here, because I gotta get out of here. I'm a new gun guy, right? Like I'm just getting into like the gun space, I guess you could say.
Welcome to the Tism, friend.
Oh man, so much fucking Tism. And when I got in here, you get a lot of new information from a lot of different people who've had a lot of experience in a lot of different places, right? So I just want to say for the people that are getting into guns, right? The new guys getting into guns. Buy what you like, mm-hmm. and whether that's the gun itself, or the fucking attachments, all the doohickeys that you like. Buy what you like, buy what works for you, and get used to it. Like y'all were talking about, everything's gonna change. You know what I'm saying? The gun shit's gonna change. The tactical shit is cool if you like it. Right? Like I just got the fucking +5 mag extension from Shield Arms, right?
Right.
In my head, that's the coolest fucking thing in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Cool I'm having
fun fucking, you know what I'm saying, doing all that. And that might be to somebody else. That's like, fuck, oh, it's like 2018, bro. Like, why are we doing that? None of that shit matters, bro.
Doesn't matter.
When
Grimzy's gonna start posting pictures of a drum mag with a revolver.
nah, that's fucking crazy.
Gangster, dude.
That's fucking that's
cool
crazy.
shit.
But like once you start getting into a space, especially the gun space, because the gun space is so autistic that it creates turmoil, and you start to like doubt yourself when you start doing shit. It doesn't matter what the fuck anybody's talking about. You can always go to certain people. Like I go to certain people and they give me, you know, do's and don'ts. Now that's up to me to follow. Right. You gotta do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you're being safe, like you're talking about, you make sure that your gun is safe every time you're doing some dumb shit with it. You can do dumb shit with your gun as long as it's safe, bro.
Correct.
At the end of the day, that's your shit.
Yeah, you can easily kill yourself with a knife.
Yeah.
People are still chopping away at veggies.
You can kill yourself falling out the window. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean don't open the motherfucker.
Right, exactly.
Somebody's going to tell you that a kid's going to watch you and they're going to try and reenact it. And my response would be, Darwin would be happy.
I've had people say that too. And to that, it is, why? Why would you think you could do this? Yeah. Have you ever done anything like this before? It's like so you don't watch a professional X Games athlete, right? People doing the most intense things, or you don't watch the Olympic gymnastics and go, oh, I could go do that. Like, no, I'm not saying I'm at that level by any means, but like
even in simpler terms, right? Like barbering, right? Cutting hair.
Right.
Why would you watch somebody cut hair and think, I can do that?
I can do that right now.
Right here, right now.
Yeah.
Right? No, the fuck you can't. There's a lot that goes into it. You have to learn how to do shit. Won't like it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Right? It's not gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the big part of things, man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do dumb shit, you better know what you're doing when you do dumb shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
I
think
if
you want to do fucking flippy acrobatics and shit, you better know what this motherfucker does before you start fucking with adding weapons and shit into it.
And I think that's kind of part of the thing about social media is you never see the process and the time that it took to get where it's at, right? You see a video on the internet and you think somebody just did that. They're an overnight success. Oh my God. But you forget the 10 years of work of posting videos that just got nowhere. Or like with acrobatics, in my case, like I've been doing this since I was 10 years old. I've been in like martial arts and acrobatics since I was 10 years old. I'm 29 now. So almost 20 years of acrobatics. And it's like, I know what I'm doing a little bit. I'm a little rusty because I'm getting older and I've got a kid and I've spent less time doing it. But, you know, why would you think you can just do that? Like, start at the bottom here. Like, let's learn how to do a 360 first.
I've got all the confidence in the world, baby. I can do anything as long as I put my mind to it. It just might not work out well for me.
Listen, I've got all the confidence, but none of the brain cells.
Big old facts, man. Listen, y'all, love peace and bacon grease. Make sure you eat a piece of bacon. You know what I'm saying? A bacon a day. Y'all know the rest. I'm gonna let them finish up here, man. I gotta take my goofy ass to work, man. Y'all be safe, all right? Thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on and talking with me, man.
Absolutely, man. Let's do it again.
Take care. God bless.
All right, brother.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to take up too much more of your time or anything like that. It's definitely been, great talking with you.
Absolutely, bro.
But have you had those like weird mom groups like on Facebook? It's like Moms Against Guns and stuff like that. Have you had those kind of people reach out to you and say, my kid took his BB gun and tried to do a backflip with it? And
I haven't had them reach out. I've definitely had them share some of my videos and say, like, don't ever do this. This is dangerous. Like, this is a bad influence on the youth. I've had all sorts of stuff like that. And to that, I have to say, this is America. And if you want to go out and try it, go for it. You're probably going to hurt yourself. Go for it. I don't suggest it at all. Like, I was saying, you don't just buy a, 500cc dirt bike and go start throwing backflips. You start at the bottom. Like, if you want to get into like stuff that I do, like acrobatics with firearms, first you got to learn acrobatics. And then from there you have to learn proper firearms handling. Right. Like, you got to start at the bottom. And if you see me and these individuals see me and they say I'm a bad influence, I'm sorry. That sucks. Maybe you should teach your kids to be smarter. Like you should be involved with your children's lives, as you know, like being a dad. Like you got to be involved. You know,
Yep.
you were a child once, and you know the rambunctious things that you got involved into.
Yep.
You know, you got to be involved. You got to be watching them. And
Yeah, so my wife and I grew up two completely different lifestyles. You know, she grew up pretty poor and hyper liberal. Mom, you know, her dad.
so
as I said,
I've learned.
yeah. So they never did like so you know, I went on vacations as a kid. I went to Mexico and I went to there and blah 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 and did all these kind of things. Had all these toys and things like that. So, and she gets upset with me when I see the same things with our kids as my brothers and I did growing up. And I wouldn't say that all the time I try to be like preventative, because obviously there are some things that you just need to learn by doing and making a mistake. But there are some things when like I can kind of guide you a little bit.
Yeah, I
and
can
maybe,
shepherd you a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And she will get just super upset. She's like, you're trying to do too much. Just let them do their thing. And I'm like, perfect example, right? If I tell them that we need to be in the car to go somewhere at 5 p.m., they think that means that they need to get ready at 5 p.m.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No,
So
we are
then
ready to leave at 5 p.m.
Yeah. So I will tell them, hey, need you downstairs 4:50, whatever. Everything ready to go. Your water bottle filled up, your hoodie or raincoat or whatever gear you need to wear to leave the house. I should be like, they don't need to be ready that early. And I'm like, they're not going to be ready that early.
That's why I gave him 10-minute leeway.
Yeah. And yeah, it's crazy. Like I watch, you know, Angry Cops videos with especially the youngest. He loves this space in general. He loves your videos. He thinks
that's
it's
awesome,
like,
man.
yeah. And we have this running joke for years. I used to just ask people like, can you do a backflip? I can't do a backflip. I can do a backflip on a trampoline, or at least I used to be able to, or like off a diving board. I haven't done one in so long that maybe not. I don't know.
Right.
Probably not, or at least not right away. So I just go around and ask people like, can you do a backflip? And my wife would be like, you can't do one. Why are you asking people? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's interesting. I want to hear like people's answer. And they're like, some people are like, yeah, I can do it once until I break my neck. Or some people are like, fuck no.
That actually was one of my responses for quite some time to hate comments. I would just say, do a backflip.
Yep.
Oh, you can't? All right, go ahead and tone that down there, big guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you posed the question a couple of days ago. You said, why don't you do martial arts or something like that? And I was like, because my back's fucked up, which I mean, it really is. And I used to be affiliated with a bunch of guys that were like huge into jujitsu, right? And that community is like, if you don't do jujitsu, like what is wrong with you? You know, you can't just rely on your firearm. You should
if you
know.
don't get sweaty and wrestle other dudes.
And I live in an area with a lot. So I used to go to a gym that's owned by a bunch of guys that have fought previously in the UFC and Bellator. Actually, a couple of the guys have been on our show before. Like John Salter, if you know who he is. He was in Bellator for a long time. He and his wife have been on. Jamie Pickett lives here. They all train at the same gym down the road from here. And several times they've been like, dude, why don't you do jujitsu? And I'm like, I would just rather shoot you, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
I'd just rather pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand, like it's like Kenny Powers says, you know, I play real sports. I'm not trying to be the best at exercising. That's how I feel. Like I'll go to the gym, I lift weights. I need to get back into shape. My back's been really fucked up, and I actually broke 2 ribs trying to play sports with my 9-year-old.
And you were a little out of commission, and then you're like, all right, fire up the engines and
Yep. They did his football team before the last game of the season. At their final practice, they did parents and coaches versus the players. And I caught an interception, and I'm 6'4", 290-ish, and these are 9-year-olds.
Yep.
I didn't want to literally run this fucking kid over. So I fell and rolled to the side. I landed on the ball.
Oh, crunk.
Yep.
Yep.
And I was having the worst time breathing. I kept trying to play. I went to the VA 4 or 5 days later, and they're like, "Yeah, you cracked 2 of your ribs. That's why you're having problems sleeping and can't breathe." Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was right as I was really like hitting my stride again in the gym when that happened. And I've only kind of like just finally, this happened a little over 2 months ago. So I'm like just finally back to the point where I'm comfortable again to be able to even just do a push up, let alone bench.
Yeah. I asked that question because I like hearing people's reasonings and excuses, like you said about the backflip thing. Like I like hearing the reasons for it because, you know, while I don't believe that you need to like go as hard as possible. I don't believe that. Like there comes an age when just doing it is good enough. You know what I mean? I'm not there quite yet. I still like to go pretty hard, but it's one of those things where it's like, for me at least, in my opinion, I believe that everyone should do a martial art to just keep moving. You know, keep moving, stay active. It's good, especially. It's hard because I believe it is primarily better for men to be in a combat sport because it helps us alleviate our testosterone. It helps us balance out that. It reminds us that there's danger in the world and that we can face it. I also think it's more important for girls to take on a combat sport so they know how to take care of themselves if they ever were in a horrific situation where they had to. Right. You know what I mean? For dudes, it's like, you can learn to take a punch. For women, it's like, you know how to claw somebody's eyes out in case they start getting handsy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm of the mind where I'm probably bigger than most people, but I'm definitely not the best fighter. Mm-hmm. However, I'm either going to win or I'm going to lose. You know, like one way or another, I'm going to give all my effort because there's always going to be somebody bigger and badder. You know, like you could be the greatest martial artist in the world.
Oh, yeah. You can get taken out by a crackhead with a lucky punch.
Yep. Especially these days, man. Like you can't walk down the street without somebody trying to sucker punch you or something stupid like that.
That's why I don't walk around the streets. So I keep my doors locked.
Yeah. We live in a pretty isolated area, and that's how I used to feel about where we used to live. Mm-hmm. But it's just the sprawl, expanded so fast. The house that I bought when I first moved here was really isolated. Like you had to live there to want to go there. You didn't go to that neighborhood just passing by. Mm-hmm. But then everything grew around it and brought in those people. And we're kind of in that same situation right now. We're far enough away right now, but everything is growing out this way. Yep. And my wife's always like, "Why'd you lock the doors?" Or "Why'd you do this?" Or "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, it's just always practicing, always being ready, always making sure.
It's not being complacent.
Yeah.
Complacency
like,
kills.
Well, you might be a little bit paranoid. I'm like,
I'm paranoid until it happens. Yeah. And I was prepared.
Yeah. And I would love to get into something like a combat sport and stuff like that. It's just, I also have to look at it from the frame of reference that like I have a lot of injuries, major injuries, spine injuries, stuff like that. Yeah.
Do Tai Chi. Do Tai Chi. Be good for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Just slow movements, keeping the body moving.
Yep.
Yoga and Tai Chi, buddy. I'm telling you.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Is it good for younger kids as well?
Yeah. Tai Chi can be good for younger kids. It's generally they might find it a little boring because like the type of Tai Chi I'm talking about is more like aerobic, like older people Tai Chi. Mm-hmm. But it's like that slow, like learn to move, and you're still doing like motions, right? That you could like you move faster. That's a strike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually for a while, because there were guys when I was growing up, like on football teams and stuff like that, that their parents put them into dance because
dance is amazing.
Help with footwork and things like that.
Coordination.
Yep. The youngest, he has this like weird knack where he understands sports, but he does not have eye, foot, or eye hand coordination of like any kind.
That was me, brother. That was me. When I first got into martial arts, I was goofy as a mofo, dude.
But for whatever reason, he can hit a baseball. It's the weirdest thing. Like you can throw a football at him and he's like, But you throw a baseball and he'll crack it out of the park.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep throwing baseballs at him.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure it out. You know, he's played football for several years. He's never actually played baseball in a league, but that's just like you know, a lot of things. Like I don't know what martial arts cost these days, but I know it's
can be
pretty intense.
Yeah. Especially like jujitsu. Jujitsu gyms are so expensive.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And the amount
Thanks,
of time
UFC.
required.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, you know, with football for him, practice was right down the road, twice a week, one game a week. It's not really a huge time burden on us and him. It doesn't take him away from school and stuff. But all these baseball leagues, man, all of them want to be professional. They all want to travel. They all want to.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Yep.
It's a nightmare. Traveling sports with kids is a nightmare.
Yep. We had a couple football games because he was in a Pop Warner league that kind of stretches between North and South Carolina. So we had to drive to Myrtle Beach once. Myrtle Beach is like 2 hours away. It's kind of a straight shot. It's not like a difficult drive by any means, but even just that, like getting everything ready, packing everything up, getting everyone there, then because it's that far away, now you're looking at like, where does everyone need to eat at and doing all that kind of stuff. And just looking at baseball and being like, oh, we're going to go to Durham every other week, or we're going to go to Myrtle Beach every other week.
Right.
Yeah.
All of a sudden that time starts adding up.
Yep.
Okay, I can go for a game. A game every weekend is a different story.
Yeah. And their practices run like really late and stuff. And so trying to find an activity, especially in the off season, because he does love football, but he wants to continue doing something. We have a rule in our house with our kids. You have kids as well, right?
I have one son.
Okay.
He's almost 7 months old.
Oh, so real young.
Yeah, real little guy.
Yeah. We have a rule with everybody except for the 15-year-old, because now his rules are more like grade based. So he has to maintain 85 or better in every class. But for the other ones, they have to do an hour of what we just call outside time every day to be able to use their devices.
Yep.
So you could go and jump on the treadmill, you could go outside on a bike ride, whatever. You just have to do an hour of outside time, and then you can have your device.
Right.
And that they've all like bought into it. They all understand. There's a periodically, you know, oh, my friends are doing this and I want to join along and I don't want to spend the hour, whatever, to be able to earn my device. So there's periodically, we try not to make too many exceptions, because as soon as you start doing that, you know, then it's slippery slope.
Slippery slope real quick.
Yep.
Like, well, I did it yesterday. Well, I don't care.
Yep. So, you know, we make the fallback option the lesser, or like the thing that they really don't like. Okay, you don't want to do that? You can clean the bathrooms. And they're like, no, I'll go jump on the treadmill.
Yeah, I'll go outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go outside. That sounds way better than cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah. So yeah, we like I said, we try and keep, you know, everyone active. Now that, you know, I'm not injured or anything like that. We have a really, really big, I think I just read, because it was in the news, they just opened up a new expansion of this park that's right down the road from us. It's 53 acres.
Oh, dang.
Baseball fields, soccer fields, basketball courts, tennis, pickleball.
That's awesome.
Trails, everything like that. And they opened up a new extension of the park back in September. And there was a new bathroom and everything like that built out there. And these little fucking shits went out there on their e-bikes with sledgehammers and shit. And they were doing burnouts inside and smashing the sinks and
Gotta love it.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
And my wife's like, I can't believe something like that happened. I'm like, I can't believe they didn't fucking lock the doors.
Right.
Like
That's the problem, man. That's the problem. We have a surprising, like, high trust society, and a society that is not deserving of the high trust yet.
Yeah. Do you have the e-bike problem where you live?
I've got a couple hooligans in the neighborhood that definitely rip around on some e-bikes. I haven't seen them be too bad, but I know what you're talking about. The
biggest problem around where I live is that even where there are sidewalks, they're generally like basically part of people's driveway. So they're almost always blocked.
Yeah.
So people use the road anyways. The sidewalks are almost useless. these kids ride around here without lights, reflective gear, anything like that. I have come up on one. The main road around here is, one of them's 55 and the other one's 45. I've come up hot on a couple of them that I just didn't see until the last minute because they're riding away.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing all black for whatever reason, and they're in the fucking road.
Because they're ninjas, dude. Duh.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I want to follow to your house and I want to beat your parents' ass.
Right. Like, I want to berate your parents for your stupid behavior.
Yeah. Why, in what world did they think that just sending you out, half of them are, I didn't wear a helmet growing up, right? Like, but like, now you're going around 35, 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, I could only pedal at like 14 max. Like, and that was pushing it, you know?
Yeah.
Now, that for me, I feel like that just falls back onto like what I was saying is like so many parents nowadays, they have kids and they're not involved in their kids' lives. It's like, you gotta be involved. And I know I'm a young parent, but like I have brothers who have kids and their kids are getting older now. And so like I watch them with my nephews and it's like, you need to be more involved with what they're doing. Like they're out there doing stuff. It's not like they're not. Like, you need to be watching them. You need to be involved with them. And the more involved you are with them, the more they respect you and they respect your decision making and they respect like what you want them to do. So
yeah, there was one incident where some kids tore up somebody's yard with their e-bikes, and it wasn't even somebody like the kids knew. They didn't have any, there was nothing like, oh, they ran us off the road. Anything. They were just arbitrarily picked somebody's yard to do burnouts and stuff and tore their yard up and caused some other damage. Like they kicked rocks up or something like that and did siding damage or something along those lines. And my wife was telling me that the mom of the kid who was caught had made a post on the neighborhood Facebook page about it, saying that she would rather her kids be doing that than be like in the woods having sex and shit like that. And she's like, what kind of response is that?
why not no to both?
Yeah. Why can't you just parent your child?
Nah, dude. I gotta look through these TikToks.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. Busy. You know, my time's busy. It's my me time.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. I mean, and obviously you're, the more I think that I'm like, as soon as the kids start driving, I'm going to have more free time, dude. Like, everything's just gotten crazy.
No, now you got to pay attention to oil changes more.
Yep. Got to go around and make sure that he didn't like ride a curb or something and
Right.
mess
How's the
something up.
tread on the tires? Are your brakes still good? You check the fluids? Like,
Yeah. It's one thing after another. Plus, you know, now every kid's got something going on in their life, and I need to hang out with my friends, and I need to do this, and we live, like I said, we live like pretty far away from everything. So it's kind of a nightmare. There's only one road around here. Everything's under construction. As it's the big city feel without having as many people as a big city, which is even worse.
That's rough. You're like, I shouldn't be having this.
Yep. Yeah. Going back to talking about martial arts and things like that again, as we wrap up, what would you consider to be more difficult, a backflip or a front flip?
Front flip all day. Front flip is way less scary, but a backflip, your body is much more, I guess, well, the proper word is escaping me, but it's much more built for it. It's much more aligned for it. So with a front flip, what you have to do is you have to generate enough force going up, and then you have to generate force going forward, which seems like it would be easier, but your center of mass and your center of rotation is closer to your legs. And so doing a backflip, you just jump up, and then if you skyrocket your knees to your chest, it'll pretty much just rotate you around. That's the thing about backflips. Like, it looks tricky. It looks like it's super hard, but like if you can jump high enough and trust that me skyrocketing my knees to my chin are going to rotate me around, you'll do it every time.
So I learned how to do front flips first.
Same.
And I wouldn't say it came natural, but it was like, because that it's not an inverse of that to do the opposite movement. It's a completely different movement. So that made me be like, nope, I could never learn this. And then I dated a girl who did like competitive gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to
Been
one
there.
of her. Yeah. And it was there were these I don't know, the instructors, and then like some of like the older kids who like flipping, spinning everywhere, all over the place. And they were like, "Oh, we can teach you how to do one. We can teach you how to do one." And you know, they have those weird trampolines and the foam pits and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna try it." Dude, I made the biggest fucking fool out of myself. And of course they wanted that to happen,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Like and I was like, "This is stupid. I'm never doing it again." Luckily, there were no cameras at the time, you know, no camera phones or anything like that. But word of mouth, made it to school. And the dude who was like, I was actually dating the girl, but we were both like vying for the same girl. He was like, "Oh, I can do one." Dude, that's when it was game on. I was like, "All right, I'm going back.
I'm
fucking-"
learning. Nothing is standing in my way now.
Did your parents introduce you to martial arts, or was it something that you were interested in on your own?
Yes and no. So it was something that I was interested in because who doesn't want to be a Ninja Turtle when they're young? You know, I wanted to be Goku. But my mom, so I'm the youngest of 5 kids. I have 4 older brothers, and my mom homeschooled all of my brothers. So like some of them went to high school here and there, but you know, comes around to me, I hit 5th grade, and my mom goes, "Okay, I'm tired. You're going to do something else. Like you need some sort of sport, some sort of something." She got me into a charter school program where I would go here and there. And she's like, "All right, but you need something outside of this." Cause I only went like 2 days a week to this school. She goes, "Okay, you need some sort of something. What are you going to do? What do you want to do?" I was like, "I don't want to do sports. That sounds dumb." And she goes, "What do you think about soccer?" I'm like, "No." "Baseball?" "No." "Football?" "No." And she goes, "How about karate?" And I said, "Huh? That sounds cool." And so my mom was the initial like driving force behind it for sure. And so she took me to a karate class that we found in the Yellow Pages, and I did my first like initial 4 lessons, which was all private lessons, which were like hey, we're going to see how you are able to do this before I put you into a class. And from there, I got the bug. And I just went, I need to do more of this. This is the coolest thing I've ever done in my entire life. I'm a ninja now. Hell yeah. And it just kind of, it spurred from there. So then martial arts, the place that I was going was connected to a gymnastics center. And literally right next door was a dance center. So I was set up for failure. So
all the girls.
Yeah, all the girls. So I would finish karate, and then I would go over to the gymnastics center and I would do gymnastics. And then I made friends with dudes who were in like the hip hop dance classes. So then if I didn't go over to the gymnastics place, I'd go over to the dance place and dance with them and started learning breakdancing and stuff like that, and did a little bit of ballet here and there, but should have done more, honestly.
I look back and, you know, every manly boy growing up, right? Like they look at dance and they're like, "No, I don't want to do that."
I'm going to force my son to go to ballet. Yeah.
Yeah. I really want the youngest, because he is like very invested in wanting to become better in sports. He likes sports. He's kind of become a student of the game, especially as far as like football goes,
awesome.
you know, like, yeah. And I want to set him up for success, because I think in his mind on the field, he's performing better than he really is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Been
not
there.
it's not like a slide against him, but it's like he's just, his imagination is so vivid, right?
That's awesome.
That he thinks that, you know, he did this crazy thing, or, you know, somebody runs him over. And so now like he's down on himself and everything like that. And I just think that with a little bit more coordination, something will kind of like click in his mind, because he'll watch and he understands like his position. He's like, because he plays defensive end. So he's like, I know what to do. And then you tell him what to do. And then he just like doesn't do it, but tells you he did.
Right.
And it's not that he's lying. It's that he really believes that he successfully did what you asked him to do. So yeah, I'd feel bad, but then again, like I don't want him to end up progressing and going up to higher levels and just getting crushed and losing the love that
and
he has
losing
for
the
it.
spirit. Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you ever did want to put him in ballet, just show him the video of Arnold and Lou Ferrigno. Not Lou, I forget his name, but his buddy. Show him the video of Arnold in his prime doing ballet.
Okay.
Yeah. Just be like, look, this guy did it, and he's a manly man. Look at him.
Yep.
It's not girly.
Yep. So we had Nick Irving on. Actually, it was episode 1 guest.
Nice.
But we recorded that back in like July. I've known Nick for a little bit, and he had the youngest had said something about wanting to do scuba, and we looked it up, and it's just fucking expensive,
outrageously expensive.
Yeah. And I posted something about it, and Nick he texted me. He texted me within like 5 minutes of me posting it. He texted me, he's like, "Hey bro, just come down to Texas and I'll get you and your son certified." And I was like, well, I would love to.
Hell yeah.
But I think that trip would cost just as much money.
Just as much as the whole class and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So we might take him up on that one day, just because it'd be nice to come vacation, hang out with you guys out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, anything else that you're working on or pushing? Anything that you'd like to talk about?
Just got the podcast going, Man versus Morning. I am getting back into gun content, so I took a big hiatus there for a little bit after a lot of the stuff with that company went down. Kind of lost my taste for it for a little bit, but I'm coming back on that. So I'm going to be producing more stuff on my personal channel, which is the Almost Perfect Weapon. And then me and my co-host from Man vs. Morning, Tackett, we are actually starting another little joint venture with gun content as well. We just took the YouTube channel. Haven't really done anything with it, but it's We Are Unprofessional. So we'll get that going here, and that should be fun. But so that'll be fun stuff on the horizon for sure.
Heck yeah. And we'll have links to all that as well. So this episode's going to come out in January.
Very cool.
We just, with all the holiday stuff,
it's so much.
Yeah, people aren't really consuming podcasts right now. Everyone's busy fighting for 32-inch TVs.
Yeah, oh god. Dude, driving into San Antonio, 2 days ago? I drove into San Antonio 2 days ago, and I got, for a trip that should have taken an hour to 2 different stores, it took us close to 4 hours just due to traffic. Insane. It was nuts.
Yeah. So like I was saying, so there's only one road. So I don't know how familiar you are with North Carolina. So we live outside of Wilmington, about, 15 miles outside of Wilmington, maybe 20. And there's one highway, and they're building a new bypass that goes around Wilmington. But right now, there's only one road to get from Camp Lejeune, where the Marines are, into Wilmington. And it is a fucking nightmare, man. It takes an hour to get anywhere under, or over 10 miles. It's over an hour everywhere. And so that was a long story to say that I saw a guy pulling into my neighborhood the other day in his pickup truck. He had the biggest TCL TV that you could buy at Walmart. It was like the 98. He was pulling in, turning in front of me, and I was trying to read what size it was.
Yep.
And as he was turning, the fucking thing tipped and the box fell.
TV broke, didn't it?
I have no idea.
Oh god.
But I told my wife, because I don't join like groups and stuff on Facebook. I post to my personal void, and that's it.
I yell into my void. Yeah.
And I was like, hey, watch the group post, see if anybody's upset about breaking a TV, because I think I watched it happen.
Dude, I can hear exactly the words coming out of that man's mouth.
Yep. I wish I would have been paying attention better, because like I said, I was looking at the boxes. I was trying to find the size, looking at the box. And then the oldest and I had to run to Walmart a couple of days ago, and I was like, hey, I want to walk into the TV section because I want to see how much this TV costs. I think this guy just broke. It was like $998 or something like that.
Plus tax, plus he for sure got the warranty, and Oh
Yep.
God.
Yep.
It's $2,000 TV for sure.
Yep. Couple cool questions to rattle off
Yeah,
then.
absolutely.
Favorite pistol?
1911.
I know a lot of people are gonna be mad at you for that.
Whatever. It's the coolest fucking gun, dude. The aesthetics are on point. I don't give a shit that it's got 7 rounds. You're never gonna shoot past 7 rounds in a defense situation, anyways. Get fucked.
I just know you got
It's
the
awesome.
people that are like, "Oh, you're fudge. You're 2 world wars."
Yeah, 1911s are gangster, dude. They're awesome.
Yeah. Favorite rifle platform? You AR, AK guy, or something else?
I like the AKs better. The AR is a better rifle. It hurts my heart to say it. The AR is a better rifle. The AK is a cooler rifle. I've got my AK back there, but
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I think it's the furniture. I think it's just the look and the feel. It's not. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my personal preference or personal idea. I think that they just like they look cooler.
Mhm.
A lot of times they're a little bit more robust.
yeah. My thing is like there needs to be. I say this, and yet there are these, and I don't buy them. I think a dirty amalgamation of the two would be good. I think the Rock and Lock magazine, I think that is superior because I would say 90% of the time more, you're gonna like if it clicks in, you know you've got it, right?
Yeah.
Where with an AR, if you stick it in, there's the occasional chance where you don't get it all the way in.
Right.
Side charging is better than the T handle. Get wrecked. But no bolt hold open, kind of shitty. So, I mean, you got the trade-off. And
Yeah.
that is way heavier than a regular AR.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Eggnog, pro or against?
Pro nog.
There we go. Grimzy hates it.
Hey.
Grimzy hates it.
It's fine. You know, you can like slides and Crocs too, I guess. It's just throwing so much shade and he's not even here.
I'll make sure to edit that in.
Hell yeah.
Hot dogs. You a hot dog guy?
Dude, I'll eat a glizzy. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have this. Obviously, I don't know where this. I don't know where like this whole glizzy internet culture came from for fucking hot dogs. Because there are people that are just absolutely obsessed. We have a group of our subscribers and followers, fans, whatever you want to call them, that just drag Grimzy for not liking them. And it's not that he doesn't like him. It's just he's the I don't eat it for the shape. I eat it for the taste. Like most men are,
Yeah.
but they take that as an opportunity to be like, oh, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
do this, right? So periodically we'll make a thread where people will just come and share whatever hot dog videos they have. There's a video of a dude, maybe you've seen this before. He's sitting in his bathtub with his socks on. His feet are visible.
God. This was
And he's got-
premeditated.
Yeah.
Ugh.
He has an Oscar Mayer hot dog bun warmer roller
Yeah.
machine sitting on the side, and he takes it out, puts his hot dog on, puts his condiments, dips it in the bath water, and then eats.
Straight to hell. Straight to jail, straight to hell. God have no mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I've shown some of these videos to my wife. There's also there's a guy where, he's using all the current lingo, and you don't see his face until the end. And he's got a hot dog in the bun, pours ketchup on it, dips it into a big, like 2-3 gallon bucket
Of mustard?
Mustard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that. Just
Yeah. Yeah. I've shown that to my wife. She's like, what part of the fucking internet do you exist in? Like, where do you
Bad one.
find this stuff?
Yeah, a bad place. Yeah, you don't want to be here.
Yeah.
It's the place that Mufasa told Simba not to go. Yeah. He said, over there, the Shadowlands, don't go there. That's where I reside.
That's actually funny. I'm gonna keep that in the hip pocket.
Hey,
that's
it's all
what I'm
yours.
gonna use. Man, that was the 4 that I had for you. There might have been something else. There's always a trend, but just to know that you're a nogger, that you're on the winning team.
Hey, listen, I stand in solidarity with the Noggers.
Dude, I'm so happy that Shad's created that fucking trend.
Dude, it is a war that I will never stop fighting.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
So we have. Do you know who Mark Sibley is?
That rings a bell. Oh my god.
The Mongol Moon author.
Oh yeah.
So he's anti-nog, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have our graphic right now for like the 25 days of Christmas, because we're giving away something every single day for 25 days. And when I made the graphic, he hates it so much that I always have, like, whatever AI model I'm using, I have it dedicated, create like a carton or gallon or whatever and stylized, so it's like his name is the brand, and then like, because he's been delaying writing his third book, so it'll say like Sibley brand old book number 3 recipe.
Oh, that's
it's
so
all
good.
yeah. So it's on there. It's like sitting in the snow off to the side. We've got the Harvey's raccoon throwing snowballs at a fucking dude wearing an Oscar Mayer costume, like face down in the snow. Yeah, it's some good shit. I spend way too much fucking time playing with this shit than I should. We have so as you heard Grimzy say, calling people goofies. He started what he calls the Department of Goofy Detection and Prevention. So we have an official government agency.
Yeah.
Created a badge for it and everything. It looks like this U.S. Secret Service badge, which says Department of Goofy Detection and Prevention. And then the tagline for our show is "Get in the trunk," because people that he doesn't like or he's pissed off with, he shoves them in the trunk. Yeah. So we put out these press releases in the same style as like the Secretary of War does when he's talking about bombing a boat. So we just had one where we arrested and deported Oscar Mayer, and he's wearing the costume. It's a guy in full tactical kit. The Wienermobile is in the background.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Spend entirely too much time on it, man. Like there's absolutely no fucking return on this, but just building the lore behind the channel has been so much fucking fun. It's so
much fun. And the audience loves it. That's the best part.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, they get really invested because obviously it's divided. We have pro-nog, anti-nog. We have people that love hot dogs. We have people that hate them. We have people that, all of us. So actually today's giveaway was to just post a picture of your dog. And if you post a picture of a cat, you were eliminated.
Nice.
Because normally if you tell people to post a dog, the people that don't have dogs will post their cats.
Yep.
So I was being very specific with,
you post a cat, you're eliminated.
Yep. But tonight, so it starts at 7 p.m. the night before, since that's when analytics rolls over. So tonight it'll be the Cat Lovers Day.
Nice. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Man, it's been great having you on here.
Dude, it's been awesome talking. I appreciate you having me on. It's been fun.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to put this together. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. So
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
My favorite thing with having a podcast is just the willingness of people to actually come on these things. Like I've met I've known John Malecki. I'm sure you probably are at least vaguely familiar with him.
I'm not good with names, to be honest.
He's got some huge YouTube channels. He does woodworking. He built the conference room table for Black Rifle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we had him on like a year ago. His arguments with my wife are absolutely fucking hilarious.
Nice.
But yeah, like it's, dude, when everyone's like, "Oh, you're just another podcaster or whatever," I'm like, yeah, but even if this doesn't go anywhere, I have some of the best fucking conversations with the coolest fucking people, and it's just it's too much fun to care if this ever makes any money or not.
Right. And with content, that's the way you have to view it. Is like, I'm doing something I enjoy. Too many people get caught up trying to make a living with content. And it's like, no, you should never try and make a living with content. You should have a job, and content should be like a pleasure for you. And if it starts to take off, great. And if it doesn't, then you're not worried about anything.
But then you have somebody like me who has fucking ADHD, and instead of working on a client project, because I own a web development and marketing company, instead of working on their work, here I am writing press releases, stupid shit for deporting Oscar Mayer.
Deporting the Oscar Mayer Weiner man. The Trunk Tales. They have deported the Oscar Mayer Weiner man.
Yep. Well, man, again, thank you so much for coming on. Love to have you on again sometime.
Yeah, it would be great.
once you get your channels up and running, you know, let us know. We'll get it pushed as far and wide as we can.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
I know everybody needs a little nudge in the community. You've already got the whole fucking corner already loves you though. So, we'd just be another voice echoing it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Yep. I had a blast. This was awesome. Thank you.
Yep. All right. On behalf of Grimzy, who's not here, thanks to everyone for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right. Bye.
See.
Trunk Tales! Trunk Tales!